So you come up the stairs and my lovely geisha girl that I picked up for £5 at a thrift store sits there, just filling that space. And here is my guest room, craft room, studio sort of thing. And we were so lucky, when we moved in it was already painted this gorgeous kind of whisper blue grey. Really, really pretty. So I didn't do anything to that, just left it as it is. So as you come in, there's this dresser, which is ancient. It used to be my daughter's. And it just fitted really well in this little corner nook here. And it holds, there's like a bunch of artwork that I don't have anywhere else to put. Some of it's mine, some of it's other people's. Some paint, because I'm going to be painting my bureau soon. A retro 90s tape recorder and player, and there's a reason for that. So I'll show you that when I go through the dresser. Up here I just have an abstract painting that I did, and it's just on a little ledge. And as you come into the room by the window, pretty view of the outside and the fields. And this is a fantastic thing. If you go to the hardware store and get one of these little organiser thingies, they are brilliant for stationery. They just work so well. So literally all my stationery supplies are there. Not my art supplies, but my stationery supplies, like sort of, well, you can see like push pins and staples and things. That is a puzzle box that used to belong to my grandpa. And it's got a little birdie underneath, which is really cute. That's another little box that used to belong to my grandpa. An ancient sewing machine. And in the basket beneath are some projects I'm working on. A bag of wrapping paper and wallpaper samples that I haven't decided what to do with yet. Thrift store lamp on a really old cabinet that Mum gave me, and I decided to decorate, so I painted it red and freehanded some flowers on it and varnished it, and I quite like it now. The geisha girl that I drew a while ago, a few years ago now. And then we've got the acoustic guitar, large and small, another one of my pictures, and my two little ukuleles, and my abstract flower painting, again from a year or so ago. And down here we've got another one of the junky little cabinets. I don't get rid of them because they're really useful, but they were a horrible kind of beigey brown wood, so I ended up painting them, but it holds a lot in there. That's a really deep drawer. So I've got my glue and my my white spirit and my glitter, and down there there's some random old cameras and my angel cards, and this is the scrapbook I'm working on finishing from last year. And then obviously we've got my guest bed, which is very comfy, and a little lamp that matches it. My pin board is up here, and there's nothing much pinned to it at the moment, but that changes when I'm working on things. Then here I've got some random art books, some brushes, some of my most used pens, extension cord. This is a little wall of some of my artwork from previous years. And oh, here's a tip. These are made of cardboard. Really, really sturdy cardboard. You know, the kind of packaging that comes with TVs and monitors and things. It was so sturdy that I thought it would make a good picture ledge for some of my lighter pictures, and it did. So that's held up nicely. This is my vintage school desk. I was going to make it over, but I can't bear to. And then I have this is like my artwork planner and a desk calendar, and inside, don't think I can show you inside, hang on, I've got to move things. And inside, it's got this lovely patina. Inside I've got some of various things. It was even signed by someone that must have owned it at some point. So this is just a piece of glass from an old picture frame, and I use it as a palette. And this is from a bass guitar that I've been commissioned to paint sort of flowers and things on. I haven't started yet. And then I've got some sketchbooks that I haven't filled yet, like this Doodle a Day. I bought it last year and I've only done like about 3 doodles in it. A sketchbook I haven't started yet, and 2 more sketchbooks I haven't started yet. And these silver trays that I use as props for photos and things sometimes. Backgrounds. So that's that. Edit that out, Zoe. Right. So I'll save, this is my art dresser, so I'll save looking through that until last. So we'll just go to this dresser again. As you can see, there's like all those bits and pieces and pictures I don't have any space for. My Markiplier calendar. And in here I just keep, this is, as I say, this is like an ancient dresser, but it's really handy for keeping spares. So I've got spares of glue, because I'm always using glue. Spare pens, a glue stick, a glue gun and glue sticks. Tape, packing tape and sellotape and a stapler. Very boring. And in here there's just a bunch of sketchbook paper and scrapbook paper that I haven't used. And like the backs of cereal boxes that I have used to, like when I've been painting, and I just didn't want to get rid of the palettes because I think they look kind of pretty. So I'm going to use them somehow, I don't know how. And then these are the boxes that Happy Mail comes in. I sort of subscribe to a craft monthly subscription box thing, and they're really handy for organising. So in this one obviously you keep wrapping bags, and in this one I keep decorative gift bags, and they just stack really nicely, and it's a good way of organising smaller things. And here, this is a top tip by the way. When you have a box of cereal, always rinse out and keep the wax paper, because then it works as, I use it in between sheets of my art journal to keep the pages from sticking together, and then I don't have to pay for lots of expensive vellum. So top tip there. And this is what the tape player was used for. All these tapes my dad collected lovingly over his lifetime. He loved classical music particularly, and he used to listen to Classic FM. He used to record everything, and then he wrote them down, he numbered them. So when he died I inherited these, and I may get rid of them someday, but I don't think I can at the moment. But what I'm doing is gradually listening to them and then noting down what's on them, and I'm going to make a big database of what's on all the tapes, and it gives me something nice to listen to while I'm painting. In here I have completed notebooks and journals, and so like old art journals and sketchbooks, little doodle books, things like that. And then completed loose artworks like my Doodle a Day and things like that. And then there's an A3 portfolio there, and then the other canvases. So that's completed stuff. And then down here is just sewing materials like buttons and ribbons and thread. And they're all sort of in boxes in that bottom drawer because I don't sew all that often. So then, this is my favourite place in the entire house. My pin board and my vintage art bureau. Well, it's just a bureau. So, as you can see, I've got these 2 little lights just clipped to it, and this is where I film the artwork. I've just got it clipped to the side, and then I put my phone or my camera here, and then I've got a nice top-down view of this area here. So, as you can see, it's had a couple of coats of white paint. which is fine, but it annoys me that it's just still very distressed, and I'd like to give that another coat or two so it's a bit smoother at some point. I'm waiting for some chalk paint to arrive, so I'm going to use that. But anyway, so that's where I do the majority of my art videos. Sometimes on my vintage desk, but mostly here, because I can sit here and then I can have my materials here and then the bin there, and sort of take things from here and then throw them away as I'm done. And the camera just focuses nicely on this area, which is great. And this holds so much. I mean, modern storage units just don't hold this much. I don't know why. Anyway, so I have baby wipes when I'm painting. I have a little container of washi tapes and some glue and some stickers. And some more glue and some highlighters. These are my little coffee stickers that I love so much and use a lot. What else have we got? Got a little, there's like a little junk journal that I use as an ideas notebook to write down ideas for sketches and things. Got some stamps and some ink in that one. And these are all just random boxes. I mean, never get rid of iPhone boxes if you have an iPhone, because they're fantastic for organising. And then in here I have, well, as you can see, it's a colour mixing book. So when I want to experiment with trying new colours, I'll try it out in here first, and then I just keep the pages and then I use them for scrapbooking. Some double-sided tape, some ink behind there, watercolours, more pens, graphite pencils. So that's that for that bit. It does close fully, but at the moment it doesn't because the camera tripod is in the way. But it sits up like that, so it's fine. And then in this side, I have just various craft bits. So we've got this big circle punch and a little circle punch, some Crayola super tips, some water if I feel like sort of just quickly doing some watercolours. Got some masking fluid back there and some linseed oil, and then I've got some more paints in those two boxes there. Here I keep my crafting supplies, so those are alphabet stamps, and in here I have sort of little bits in ephemera, and in here I have some more stamps, my larger ones. Here I have my paint pens, and here is just some sort of rough scrapbooking paper. And down here are some nicely colour-coded bits of tissue paper and tissue bags. And in that very bottom bit, it's just like a random box of scrap note paper, small scrap note paper. In this side, I have, these are acrylic paints. And again, they're organised in like little, these were boxes of perfumes that I had for Christmas and things like that, and they just make really nice pull out little drawer kind of organisers for this. Everything I've got in here is recycled, or you know, like I use coffee tins a lot. So coloured pencils, and I've got Sharpies there. Down here is electronic pencil sharpener, some old acrylics that I've nearly used up. And then these are sort of my mediums and my gessos and my glue. Down here is my sticker tin, which is a bit messy, but you'll have seen that on some of my scrapbooking, no, not my scrapbooking, my Plan With Me videos. And in here, with the genius that is Ferrero Rocher boxes, are some more paints. So I've got a double layer of all the colours. So they're really fun to open up and go through. This is a sticker maker. So you put your little picture in there, pull it out this way, and then you've made a sticker out of it. So that's good fun. They're my palette knives. Some random pens. I don't use markers very often, but I've got some markers there. And that's why they sort of live at the bottom there. That's that one. And then in the top, that's just just like a homemade folder, and I keep my sketchbook and my writing pad in there. And in here there's some older magazines waiting to be cut up because I cut them up for the images. And this project folder has all the cut-ups, all the magazine cuttings in there ready for me to scrapbook with. These are some more, these ones are sort of the vintage magazines ready to use. And this was a homemade, I made it in 2016. I love it so much. I made this from scratch. Hot glue and scraps of leather, and it makes this amazing noise when you open it, and scrapbook paper and old bits of lace. So it's a traveller's notebook cover, and I really love it. I use it occasionally, but I'm not using it this year, so it's tucked away. And here are my, I admitted I have a problem, unused planners and notebooks. They will be used at some point, but just not yet. So the Luxe Productivity Planner I did buy for this year, but then I started using my Erin Condren and my bullet journal notebook instead, so I'm saving that. It's undated, so it's not wasted. Watercolour pad, a sketchbook. This really pretty notebook. I just bought it because it was pretty. The actual bullet journal, which came with the bullet journal method, so that's pristine and waiting to be used. And another. See, look, that's just gorgeous. I bought them from Paperchase, I think, about a year and a half ago. And I can't bring myself to use it because it's too pretty. But I might eventually use it for journaling, and then just a plain notebook. So those are my unused notebooks. Art room, studio, guest room, craft room, music room, space. Oh, sewing room. I missed out sewing room. So there we are.